Oklahoma, Auburn. Oklahoma's already had a big time game hosting Michigan a couple weeks ago. Obviously, Auburn had the big game week 1 versus Baylor, but this is a massive matchup within the SEC. Two teams are trying to take that next step to get to that tier. I would say tier 1 really for both of them in their programs, and maybe even tier 2 possibly for Auburn. But I thought a very competitive game, a defensive freaking battle, man. Two elite defenses getting after the quarterback over and over and over again. And I'll let you go first with this one. Like, kind of what were your big takeaways with Venables and that defense, Mac?
Yeah, well, I do actually have bad news to start. On our graphic, I don't know if you tried to get extra points or what, but the line was actually 6.5, which means you lost this game. So I'm sorry.
No, the graphic said 7.5.
I
The
don't know.
graphic said seven and a
I'm
half.
looking at it right here. It says six and a
Seven and a
half.
half.
I don't know. I don't know what
Seven
happened.
and a half. It must have changed after we made our picks.
I
So
don't
I
know.
mean,
It
I
says it
can't.
opened at 6.5, and then it says the spread was 6.5. I
I
don't know
go
where the
by
7 came
ESPN
from.
bets because we're ESPN employees. ESPN bets had 7.5.
Pull it up right now. I'm just saying, just look at it. That's where I'm looking. But anyway, I digress. I like to win. I like to win. So, defense balled out, and that's this game plan was what I wanted and what I thought I would see because if you guys remember back to our Tuesday episode of last week, I'm saying test Arnold. Like, let's see if he can throw it, and he threw it okay. I mean, he didn't throw it bad, 220 and a tutty, but I wanted to make them so one-dimensional and that they couldn't even think about running the football. They rushed 35 times for 67 yards. And look, I know a big piece of that is he got sacked 10 freaking times. I mean, God, that's unbelievable. But that's what I thought this Oklahoma team could do. And that's the things that I thought that they could take away and really turn into a huge deal. I mean, the fact that you had multiple guys with multiple sacks, Mason Thomas, my God, if he played the whole game, he probably would have had 10 himself. I mean, he was unblockable. He was getting to the backfield. That safety, I mean, that kind of game winner type walk-off play there, he's double teamed, he's chipped, and doesn't matter. I mean, he just all night long was unblockable in the second half when he was able to play again. And I think he's showing why he's one of the best in the entire country, best players, not just defensive end, not just defensive player, deep players in the entire country. And then John Mateer, being the guy that he's going to have to be that, right? Like, and I was disappointed they couldn't run the ball more, even from him or whatever. And that's probably going to be you and I's topic of conversation all year long. But he's just such a gamer and can take over and just play. And I think that inspires everybody else around him to step up and play as hard as they can.
No, I went back and I watched the game live. Then I watched the coaches tape this morning on both sides on the plane flight home. It was not pretty. Well, I'm gonna start with Oklahoma first. It was not pretty offensively at all. And I think, a lot of credit does have to go to Auburn and their defense because they were flying around. They were making plays. They were making his life hell. They weren't allowing the run game to get going. And you said it, like, that's going to be an ongoing conversation all year. It's like, this team has a quarterback. This team has an elite defense, maybe the best defense in America. Like, Oklahoma right now can make a case for the best defense in college football. You have maybe the best quarterback, but to be that one-dimensional still to me is scary with the teams that are going to be on their schedule going forward. But he finds a way to make plays, man. I absolutely loved it. I'll be doing a breakdown of him coming out at some point later on today. And it's unconventional at times. It's ugly footwork at times. It's rushing through things at times, but he finds a way to make the throw when it needs to be made. Like that line, I don't know what the line was doing, but it was a five-man protection. You easily knew that if there was pressure coming, it was going to come from the right side. They went to the left. I don't know whether they're declaring to left at all. I'm going to have to get your thoughts on this one. They declared left. So the offense line slides left, leaves a free rusher in his face off a blitzer. And he just takes it in the chin and throws a beautiful inside fade for a completion to get inside the 15-yard line. Like, plays like that, we're like, man, this dude's got stones, big freaking heavy stones that can sit in there and make plays when you need them. Man, shout out to him for making those plays. The defense was exotic. A bunch of ways they get to essentially, we talk about what gave me confidence for Auburn this year is the offensive line. I thought the offensive line is really damn good. They got into a lot of bear front, a lot of one-on-one opportunities, and they won those one-on-one opportunities. They did not allow Auburn to double team or chip. I mean, Auburn had to say, like, if we're going to double team or chip, we're going to have to go 7-man pro because they're creating a bunch of one-on-ones defensively, and our offensive line cannot hang with that at all. So love the defense game plan, a variety of stuff. I want to flip it over to the other side, EMAC, and talk about Auburn a little bit because, like I said, the defense was tremendous, and I thought Jackson Arnold showed some good stuff. But there are 5 or 6, and I'm gonna have his. I watched the film. I have all the notes down. I got to record that at some point this morning as well. There are 5 or 6 plays down the field where receivers are wide open, and a couple of them were completions, but could have been bigger completions, and a couple of them could have been touchdowns that weren't touchdowns. And those are the plays on the road against elite defenses. You have to make those plays. You have to make those plays, and he didn't make those plays, unfortunately.
Did you feel like he was just holding on too long or not seeing it clear when you say it could have been bigger or could have been
No, he
touchdowns?
just missed the throws. I think
Yeah.
that to me, there was one time I tweeted like, "Man, you can't hold the ball in that long." And he held on to it was about 5 seconds. I think they timed it on the broadcast. But I thought he did a good job, honestly, going back and watching it to getting the ball out when he needed to get out. I think the most of the sacks were on the offensive line or just really good coverage on the back end. But there were 5 throws that could have been 60, 70-yard touchdowns that he missed.
And that's
And if
tough,
you
and
just hit
that's what the
if you
great
just
ones
hit
do.
2 of them,
Yeah,
2 of them,
different
it's a
game,
different game, and he
different
missed
game.
them,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, and it's it is it's unfortunate when you can't do that because there's a lot stacked up against you, right? Like you're in Norman, a place where they do not lose. Like they have one of the best records since I think '05, maybe the third best in the country since '05. They've never lost to Auburn. You can't overcome those things by missing layup opportunities and missing wide open things and things of that nature, but also giving up 10 sacks. I mean, that's outrageous. That's it was a great plan. As you mentioned, the exotic looks, and it puts your offensive line in a real stress because even if you line up in bear, or if you line up even heavier and you have 6 up there, we have to identify somebody. We have to say, we're going this way, we're going that way. Well, when we go to the left and you drop those guys without just a free rusher, everyone looks stupid. And it's just there, it's very difficult. It's
Very
very
difficult.
difficult to
No,
do. And
that's Venables, though.
it
Venables.
is. That's why
It
he's the
just
best. That's what he's the
it
best
puts a
at.
lot of stress on the O-line, and they just were not, unfortunately, ready, especially in that environment. Thought there was some really good receiving play. Satania was tremendous for Oklahoma. Cam Coleman is an absolute freak of nature.
Fun to
I mean, you
watch.
just give him more he needs more opportunities. I know that, 3 catches, 88 yards, or some other targets where he gets a PIs just because of his size, but there were some missed opportunities with him down the field. So I'm gonna leave the big thoughts, and I wanna obviously ask you this question after this. Oklahoma's a really good team that has the big question mark at the running back position. I think Auburn is a really good team that I still believe is a very talented up front offensive line that just had their night on the road against a great scheme in Venables. I think they got good running backs. I think they have elite receiving play, and I now am very confident that they're pretty damn good on defense. Jackson Arnold is a good quarterback, and I don't need him to be great, but I just need him to hit the freaking layups. The touchdown for Oklahoma, the SEC came out and said, "We messed
Yeah.
up. Our
Right.
official screwed up.
Yeah.
That should have been called on the field." What was your reaction initially, and what's your reaction now to kind of after they released a statement?
Yeah, well, it was one of those things where you're watching it and you're watching a bunch of different things, and it was just like, "Whoa, how's this guy so open?" And then, you see the replay, you see him walking off, and you're just like, you're not allowed to do that anymore." That we've kinda outlawed that. I did like that the SEC was super blunt about it, and saying, "We will" now it doesn't win you the game, Auburn, sorry, it doesn't take that away, but I did like how they kinda handled it very swiftly, saying, "Hey, we'll fix this. Sorry, it's a mess up," instead of trying to beat around or say, well, the referee saw this and it was like they said it was a mess up, which I appreciate. Now, Auburn fans, like I said, will not appreciate that, and they want it called, but it's unfortunate that it happened, but, good job by Oklahoma finding a way to get it done.
Hey, they're like, "Oh, sorry, we did something illegal, but guess what? It ain't
Alright.
gonna affect us because we got the win." Auburn fan I mean, there was some bad officiating. I'll be honest, like, the officiating in the game was really bad. Obviously, that was missed. There was another one to Cam Coleman that was a clear as day
PI,
PI.
it wasn't
I
called.
mean, he's getting hugged and dragged down as he's trying to go vertical to catch the football. I think there's some I get the frustration from Auburn fans, and I tweeted multiple times, and Auburn fans are like, you know it's real when even Aaron Murray is saying it's BS." Like, "Ah, we love you, Aaron. Thank you for" I'm like, "I love it, baby." Like,
Good job.
I don't hate Auburn. Just to say, I got a bunch of Auburn friends that were texting me the whole time and texting me this morning. So, it was unfortunate, but like I said earlier, there were so many more opportunities for Auburn to have capitalized in the game, and they didn't. It's still a great team, a good team. I'll refrain from using the word great. It's still a really good team that Auburn fans, I know it doesn't feel good,
Mhm.
but you'll be very competitive this year, and you'll still have a chance to do some pretty damn special things. I'm not too worried about the